So, Rise and Grind fam over here on Facebook. I apologize. I know we're a few minutes late this morning. I've been doing everything in my power to get some sound to come out of my throat after the last 6 days or 5 days. I guess it's been on the road, nonstop speaking. My voice is a little bit crazy. So I'm going to do it though. You're here. I'm here. Let's rock and roll. Today's episode of Hashtag Rise and Grind. Let's go.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you, my friend? How are you, my friend?
See, there's no excuse for you not pushing yourself to the next level. In order for you to create a new you must have a new mindset. When teams come together, we can create things that are greater than the sum of all of their parts.
Good morning and welcome to Hashtag Rise and Grind. I am your host, Glenn Lundy. I am a husband to one, a father to eight, and the creator of what is going to be the number one most watched morning show in the world. It is 5:30 a.m. and I hope that you are ready to rise and grind.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How are you, my friend? Dude, today is what day is it? Today is Thursday, June 10th, 2021. And what's crazy is today is the very first and the very last time it'll ever be Thursday, June 10th, 2021. So I want to make sure we make the absolute most. And of course, I do mean the absolute most of this absolutely incredible day. Dude, I'm coming to you live from Tampa, Florida. As you can hear, my voice is a little bit different than normal. I am here at the Digital Dealer Conference. The Digital Dealer Conference has been the first conference in the automotive world, obviously since COVID and all of those types of things. So it was great, thousands of people in the automotive world, all like-minded individuals, all coming together in the same room to celebrate this industry that we love, to celebrate this country that we love, and to be able to come back together and hug each other's necks, right? And so it's been really, hold on, let me tell Scott, go out and back in. It's been really a phenomenal experience. It's been great education in so many different ways. There have been great connections, lots of different people that I've had the opportunity to meet that I did not know before. Of course, it's Florida, so it's been great weather. And Florida weather is the best, no doubt about it. The only thing that I can say that is a little bit interesting, there's Scotty, I see Scott Simons now. The only thing that I can say that is a little bit interesting is now I have no voice, right? I have no voice because I've literally been talking nonstop for the last few days. But it's really been fascinating. I am incredibly grateful for the Digital Dealer people for putting this conference together, and just grateful for the opportunity to meet all of these amazing humans. So yesterday, I got to do the main keynote, spoke on stage with Alex Flores, who's another well-known general manager from the auto industry. I was also on stage with a guy named David Villa. David Villa has made a big impact in this industry as well. And so after that keynote last night, I knew my voice was basically going to be shot because I was doing everything in my power just to get to that, through that keynote. And as soon as it was over, I was like, "Oh no, this is gonna be tough." As soon as I go to bed, I know what's gonna happen. My body's gonna try to heal, and I'm gonna lose my voice, and that is basically the case. But what's really interesting is this week on #RiseAndGrind, we've been doing a series called Profound Questions, and in this series, Profound Questions, I asked you on Monday, like, what do you really believe in? Take the time to really define what you believe in. On Tuesday, I asked you to ask yourself the question, what if, and then fill in whatever comes after that sentence, right? What if I decided to go out on my own? What if I decided to give 110%? What if I decided to do that book, or to write that book, or to go live, or to do that show, right? That was the what if. The what if question was on Tuesday. And then yesterday I asked you to ask yourself the question, who loses if I don't win? And to ask yourself that question and really take the time to write the names, to write down the actual names of people that lose if you don't win, to go through the list of people that you support financially, to go through the list of the family members that you support emotionally, spiritually, all of those different things, right? And so today, I have one last profound question for this week. Maybe I might do another one tomorrow. We'll see. But today I have another profound question for you. And I'm going to ask it here in just a second. Before we do, though, you know what we got to do on the show. I might not have a voice, but we still got to dance. We still got to dance. That's right. Because an object in motion tends to stay in motion. And an object at rest tends to stay at rest. So we want to get this body moving. There's my boy Gary Henderson just joined us on Clubhouse. I love seeing Gary. He's a good dude. Sent me a great message yesterday. We got to get that. We got to get this body in motion. We got to get rocking and rolling, right? We got to get the heart pumping, the blood pumping, the heart pumping, all of those things. So listen, no matter where you are in the world, no matter what you're doing in the world, go ahead and dance. Let's go. Let's go. Come on, come on, come on, come on. If you're running right now, run a little bit harder. If you're out there lifting weights or something, let's lift it a little bit heavier. Let's go. Let's get rocking and rolling today. Look, I've got no voice, and I'm going to end up being so loud they're going to kick me out of this hotel. That's all right. I miss my babies anyway. It's also the part of the show where I need you to hit that share button. Right? Hit that share button. If you're on Clubhouse, hit the plus sign. If you're on Facebook, hit the share button. Go ahead and get you. Yeah, check that out. That's awesome. Hit that share button. Mash it out. All of those wonderful things. And this is also the part of the show where I want to say good morning to you, and I want you to say good morning to me. Whether you're watching live or watching on replay, say what's up, and I'll say what's up back. Fair enough? Fair enough. There's my man Gary in the house. Frank, I see you over on Clubhouse. I see my man TM is in the house today. I see Rob and Nate and Aida. I see Sharon is in the house, and Michelle and Ryan. I see Janeka. It's great to see you, Janeka. I'm so glad you're here today. I see Tarika and Gina Keys. I see Amy and Claudette and Dr. AJ. I see that Tom is in the house. I see that David is in the house. I see that Bruce and Trust and Martin and Roy are in the house. Terrence is in the house. Great to see you this morning. Garon, great to see you as well. I wonder who's up in here over on Facebook. I'm going to have to go check that out real quick. Who's over on Facebook? I've also got Debbie, my man Bill Hauser. Tamara's on the stage. Great to see you, Tamara. I'm so glad you're here. Joy, I am so glad you're here. You are always such a light in my life. And I am just so grateful to see you. Amanda is in 2 places. Thank goodness. I need all the help I can get this morning. So Amanda, I'm glad you're here. Salam Teklu, I see you. What's up, Kim Fair? Marilyn Wilkin, I see you. Janice Mullins, good morning. Joe Riego, I see you. Good morning. Dana Fishbein, what's up, dude? Been a long time. John Sankey, great to see you. What's up, Bernita Adele? Great to see you. We got April O'Connor, Julie Latini, Sarah Taco Ball, who's up in the house. What's up, Barrett Trout, Tabby Negret? We got Sean Weatherby up in here. All kinds of folks today on #RiseAndGrind. Hey, while I have all of your attention, give me a a huge favor, if you would please, go over to the Listening Summit, the listeningandbeyond.com. That's listeningandbeyond.com. If you want to join me in New York City, July 29th and 30th, I will be keynoting at the Listening and Beyond Summit, New York City. Super excited about that. I agree, Dana. I agree. Regina Fleming, great to see you. Lathando Nashada, great to see you. What's up, Nate Woosley? But yeah, if you want to join me in New York City, go to listeningandbeyond.com. Grab yourself a ticket. Danelle Delgado is joining me as a keynote speaker at that particular event. If you don't know who she is, I'm sorry about that. That's my fault. But she is amazing, spectacular, and it's going to be phenomenal. So get over there. Yeah, well, I can hear and see. We've got some people in here that have volunteered to help Glenn Lundy out this morning because he has no voice. They're all popping in as we go along, though, so I'm going to have to add them in kind of one at a time. So I see Scott, I see Monica, I see Amanda. I can hear all three of you. I know you can't see yourselves yet. You can only see what's live streaming out to Facebook. So a couple things for those of you that are joining me, Scott, Amanda, and Monica. Do me a huge favor. Make sure you turn down my voice. I already hear my voice coming through somewhere on somebody. So make sure you turn that down, whatever device you're listening on, as far as like Clubhouse or whatever that is. And when you do speak, you will need to unmute and remute yourself on Clubhouse as you speak on Facebook. So I know it's a lot to ask this morning, but I appreciate the help. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put this profound. Oh, and also keep in mind when you're not on the screen, if you can't see yourself, nobody can see or hear you either. So don't worry about that. All right. So here's the question that I want to ask, and it's very relevant today. It's very relevant today. The question that I want you to ask yourself is this. What if you knew that you were going to lose your voice? What if you knew that tomorrow, let's say, next week, whatever dates you want to use, what if you knew that after today, you would never be able to use your voice again? What message would you want to say? What message would you want to share with the world? What message would you want to share with your family members? What message would you want to share if you knew you were no longer going to be able to use your voice? And when I say no longer going to be able to use your voice, I don't just mean volume of speaking, where like now all of a sudden you can go write a book, or now all of a sudden you can, play charades. I'm saying voice gone. The message that is inside of you can no longer be delivered after today. What is that message that you would want to deliver? And so I really thought about this a lot this morning as I was going through my gratitude and going through my Rise and Grind planner and all of those things, with my voice being like completely shot today. I was thinking, golly, man, I got so much to say. I got so much to say still. So that's the question I want to ask you. And on these profound questions we've been asking all week, feel free to post these questions and answers on your social media. Tag me in them so that I can see them and it can spark conversations in others. So I'm going to start with Scott because I got Scott pulled in. I can see him. I can hear him. I'm going to start with Scott. So Scott, if you were, sir, to know that you were not going to be able to share a message after today, you were going to lose your voice, what is it that you would want to share with the world, your friends, your family? Where does that thought take you?
Well, Glenn, first of all, that's
Yeah, go ahead, Scott. Oh, now we can't hear you on Facebook anymore. Scott, we can't hear you on Facebook anymore. We could hear you, and then you did. You clicked.
Yeah, sorry
There
about
you
that,
go.
Glenn.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry about that. So the question is, wow, first of all, I've got a lot of FOMO for not being in Florida with you. I mean, it's looks like it's an amazing time with all those superhumans in the auto industry. You know, the Liza Borsises, the Brian Benstocks, first of all, I got a lot of FOMO. So it looks like you are having a fantastic time. And man, it's just amazing to see the country open back up again.
Yeah,
So
it's been great, man. It's been great.
yeah, your question is, what if we lost our voice? What would be our last message? And my message would be, I love you. I love each and every one of you. I love my family. I love everybody that's in my life, and I'm so appreciative. And no matter what, I'm going to be okay. And um, I'm going to be the best version of me possible. And don't worry about me. Everything's going to be okay. And we can accomplish and get through any adversity that God puts in our life with just a will to want to succeed and be the best version of us. So that is a very profound question. I've never been asked that question before. And I couldn't imagine, having to go through losing, your voice. But yeah, my message would be, I love each and every one of you, and I'll be just fine, and we'll just pivot and make the most out of it. So
That's what Scott does best, right? Scott, that's what you've done kind of your whole life, right? You're the type of guy that just pivots, makes the most out of every situation. And obviously you've had a lot of great success in your life and in your career. You've got a beautiful family, like amazing. And you're just a backwoods dude from, North Virginia, right? Northern Virginia, I think it is.
from McDowell County, West Virginia, proudly McDowell County, West Virginia. But I live such a fortunate life. I mean, I work with Carter Myers Automotive Group. I'm in circles such as yours. The friends, the family, I don't know what I did to deserve the life that I have. And, as long as we're alive, no matter what, as long as we're alive, we can still make an impact. No
You're
matter
muted
what.
on Clubhouse, Scott. Go ahead.
Okay. I said,
Yeah,
that's when it comes back to cross.
Yeah.
Um, okay, can I play through your speaker on Clubhouse, Glenn? When I speak, will it come through yours?
Nope.
Oh man. Okay. I don't know what else to do because it keeps.
That's all right. Just keep rolling for Facebook. The Clubhouse
Yeah.
folks will just have to hang on a second.
Yeah, but it's Glenn. It's I live a fortunate life, and no matter what happens, adversity is going to come about like it came March of last year with COVID, and we just got to we've got to just do the best with what we have. But no matter what, I tell my friends and family, I could die tomorrow, and I've lived a real blessed and fortunate life. Don't ever cry. Celebrate, because I've had an amazing life.
Well, that's awesome, Scott. I love that. And Barbara Majeski just messaged me and said somehow they can hear you on Clubhouse through my mic, which I don't understand how that's happening at all, because you're going into my headphones. There's no sound coming out. So God is helping us through this morning, which is, I am so thankful for that. And Scott, thankful for you for jumping on last second and helping save my voice a little bit. So I'm going to go to, I believe this is Amanda Dahl. We've never met face to face before. She's always just been a still video picture. But I think that's who this is. So I'm going to toss it over to Amanda. Amanda, I'm going to ask you, obviously that same question, what, if you were going to lose your voice, today was going to be the last day that you were going to be able to share a message, what would you want to say?
So the logical me wanted to respond with, I need to figure out a way to tell people how I'm going to communicate with them if they can't hear my voice. And then I think the more emotional side of me thought to give them an opportunity to listen to my voice and to talk about the things that I've been passionate about in my life so that they could hear the emotion and how fulfilled I've been. And then I would say, like Scott, tell them I'm going to be okay and everything's going to be all right and I love them.
Yeah, I love that. And that's kind of what we do, right? Isn't that what we do as humans? We're like, Okay, first, so we're like, well, we'll do this, we'll do this, we'll do this, we'll do this, and then we're like, okay, wait, slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down. How do we best serve the people that we love, right? And then it becomes an emotional thing. It goes from a physical thing to an emotional thing. So, Amanda, you have a seed that has been planted in you, and you have certain hopes and desires and dreams and visions, and the way you make an impact. I know you do real estate down here in this area, and so on and so forth. And so, a little bit more about about you as a human. So, what do you think? Let's like make it a mountaintop type moment. Like, what is the message that the world? What can you and you specifically share as a message kind of for the world, that mountaintop moment, something we can apply in our life today, this week, this month, this year? What would you share with us?
The first thing that came to my mind, and it's so important to me, that a year ago I got it tattooed on my arm. And it says, do all things with passion. And for me, passion is waking up every single morning, and it's like your brain doesn't even give your body enough time to catch up because you're so excited for your feet to hit the floor and run to exactly what you do that day. So whether it's passionate about your family or passionate about your job or passionate about the hobbies that you're doing, as many moments that you can get that, like, I can't wait to get there, I'm so excited, the butterflies, the just full fulfillment. Look to have more moments like that in your life. Be passionate.
Yes.
Unapologetically passionate.
Yes, I love that. Unapologetically passionate. Seek those moments, right? Seek those moments to give you the butterflies. Seek those exciting moments. Seek those joyful moments. I love that. Great message, Amanda. I'm going to head over to Monica. I'm going to ask her the same question. Monica is actually newer to our Breakfast with Champions and jumped right in this morning and was like, hey, I'm kind of newer to this whole thing, but if you need some help, I'm here for you. And I think that that's absolutely amazing. So, Monica, you're going to lose your voice. You're not going to be able to communicate a message. You're not going to be able to communicate a message. You're not going to be able to write it down. You're not going to be able to do charades. You can't blink one eye. You can't do nothing. You're not going to be able to communicate a message tomorrow. What is it that you need everybody to know today?
Well, good morning. I'm a speaker, so that's a little bit of a frightening proposition.
Tell me about it.
But I would say, I love you. Life is short. And use your gifts. You are allowed and you are expected to use your gifts. People will try to dim your light accidentally, but it's accidental. Dig in there, figure out what you love, and live a life that fulfills you. Because when you do that, you inspire others to do that same thing. And that's a really beautiful cycle. That's what I would say.
Well, how about mic drop moment? Wow, right there. How about mic drop moment? Wow, like that was beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So you're a speaker. Tell us a little bit more since you are newer. We're newer to you. We're learning about you. You're learning. That was really powerful, Monica. How did you get into this world of speaking?
For 20 years, I was in the organizing and productivity space. And so I helped people improve their lives and their businesses in various ways. And in that period of my life, I began to get asked to speak on the things I was talking about and teaching. And what I discovered was that speaking was one of my loves. And I didn't know it. I didn't realize it. And so it took me down the path of being able to share my message on bigger platforms, and that led to writing, and I became an author, and I became a blogger, and then I got to do television and radio, and it was just a really fun, beautiful way to be able to share a message. And we were talking yesterday in a room with Laura Wild about being in the flow state. And although I am very physically active and I strength train and I love it, I've never hit the flow state in a physical activity like that. However, on the stage, I realized in that conversation yesterday that on the stage, I get in flow. And so I will come off the stage and people will say, I loved what you said about this or that, or did you hear that noise? That ice maker was clanking so bad in the background. I don't remember what I've said. I didn't hear any noise. I was just in the moment, and whatever came out, came out. And which is not to say you don't prepare as a speaker. You do prepare as a speaker. However, in the moment, you let your expertise and you let your heart also come out. And you don't always remember what you said, but if it's coming from the right place and you're there to serve, it's always helpful. So thank you for asking about that. Speaking is truly one of my loves.
That's really, really incredible. And yes, I know you and I are aligned because I know exactly what you're talking about. Once that stage hits, the lights hit, the mic comes on, it's like, let's go. Like every second up into that is like Amanda was talking about, right? It's one of the things. What did she say?
Sorry, guys, that was my fault. I muted Glenn so that we didn't get the feedback, but he didn't get my message saying he needed to unmute again.
Oh, I just
There
got
you
it.
go. Sorry, Glenn, my
Muted
fault.
me. You muted me, Liza.
We couldn't hear Monica. It was so much feedback. I was trying to help, but I didn't get my message to you quickly enough.
Well, thank you, Liza. I got it. But yes, Monica, that is beautiful, and I understand. That flow state, the lights, the cameras, and once it comes on, every second leading up to that can be a little chaotic, but once it comes on, it's ready to go. Look at this panel of amazing humans right here, Amanda, Monica, and Scott, who just jumped in last second. They're like, Glenn, we want to help you, and I absolutely love you guys. And so, Scott, I want to dive in just a little bit further. We've got a couple more minutes. You use your voice in a lot of ways right now to inspire and to empower, obviously to lead your team, all of those things. And so coming out of or on the backside of experiencing this pandemic and those types of things, what are you using your voice? What message are you sharing with your teams and with your family right now in this season today?
Yeah, Glenn, I think, well, first of all, we started off this morning talking about the mindset of successful people. And we were talking about the one attribute. And as you know, we're going through training with you and Danelle Delgado at Carter Myers Automotive Group, which thank you so much, Liza, for investing in our 700 employees. We sincerely appreciate it. And, talking about successful mindset, we talked about what's that one trait? What's the one trait that you look for that you think the most successful people in the world have? And that one trait is the ability to influence. How can we influence people? Glenn, there was people in times in your life you influenced people the wrong way. You were always a leader, right? But going through your journey, you were leading people down a wrong road, including yourself. And then you did a major pivot. You were on that beach and you didn't drown. And then your life completely changed, now to the point where you're leading thousands, if not millions of people to be the absolute best version of themselves. So in the face of adversity, right now we have adversity. We always have adversity. Right now we don't have, we're running low in inventory because of microchips. Before it was COVID, before it was something else. So we're always going to have adversity, but who could show up day in, day out, month in, month out, year in, year out, and be the absolute best versions of ourselves, even when we don't want to. There's days I don't want to. There's days I don't want to go work out. And I sure hope no one knows it. And if no one knows that I'm showing up when I really don't want to, and they still say, hey, you know what, he's impacting us greatly, that's when I'm making a difference. So the ability to influence people in a positive way, words matter. Words can either tear people down or they can bring them up. But you don't need to baby people either. You need to be real with them. And if you're real with them, to be clear is to be kind. So be kind with people, but be clear with them and encourage them to be the best versions of themselves. So that's what I try to do. I fail often. I'm not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but I try to bring the best out of people. And I'm trying to bring the best out of me. And I've still got a long way to go, Glenn.
I love it, Scott, man. I love that. And I love your heart. I love your passion, man. You're an incredible dude. Amanda, I want to ask you the same question. Right now, sitting here on the, You know, we've gotten through to this far. We still don't know what's all ahead, but we've gotten through to this far. We do know this much. So what is the message that you are sharing with the people that you have the opportunity and the ability to impact? I know you're doing a lot of stuff on Clubhouse as far as inspiring and pouring into people that way. So what do you think is the biggest message people need to hear right now?
You know, when Scott asked that question this morning on Clubhouse, my thought, without even thinking, was, or without even having to think about it, was ownership. And ownership is a choice. You every single day wake up with the opportunity to own whatever is going to happen next. What you're going to wear, what road you're going to take to work, how your attitude's going to be when you come in, how you prepare for it. And so that's been probably the most used word in the conversation I'm having with our real estate team is you have the opportunity to own anything you want. And when you decide to own it, you better own it at all levels. There's no half owning it. Show up, choose to show up, and then show up.
I love it. Choose to show up and then show up. Yes, I love that. Amanda, that is great. You are amazing. Thank you so much for hopping in here. You're amazing. And now I want to ask you the same thing, Monica, same thing. So today, experiencing, we just got through or still, I don't know where we're at in the whole pandemic world. I just know we're alive and it's today, and I'm excited for that. But we've all gone through this season. And so what are you sharing? What is your message that you are sharing on the backside of this pandemic with people right now?
Glenn, it was the same one that I shared this morning about what makes a successful person. And I believe one of those key traits is optimism. Optimism changes our brain chemistry. We can literally see more options available to us when we are optimistic, when we're in a positive mindset, than when we are negative. Our brains actually show us a wider field of opportunities, a wider field of view. And when you have more tools and resources available to you, you can do a lot more things. It would be like trying to build a house with just a hammer. You need a lot more tools than that. And optimism is the key that unlocks those tools. So no matter what is happening, please do your best to see whatever is good in it. Reframe the situation. Look at it from a different angle. Look at it through a different lens. It will help you and it will help those around you.
Yes, beautiful, Monica. Thank you so much for that. Optimism, always the better choice, right? Always the better choice all the way around. Give a round of applause for these folks right here. These three last minute, 5:30 a.m. had no idea they were going to be on video or get asked questions or none of that. I am so thankful to you three specifically, and also just my tribe that is always there for me whenever I need anything. You guys are amazing. So I'm going to let you guys back off the hook. We'll go hook up over there on Clubhouse. Although, Scott, I might have you run the next 20 minutes on Clubhouse. I'm just messing up your whole morning for you.
Glenn, as you know from when I first met you, and I reached out to you and asked you to speak to a group, and you didn't know me from anywhere, and you said, Scott, I'll be there. And you showed up and you poured into me from the day that I met you. So I will always have your back, brother. You know that.
Bro, I love you for that. Thank you so much. Hey, guys, this is #RiseAndGrind. Think about that. I want you to think about that question. All right? If your voice, if you knew you were going to lose your voice, you were not going to be able to communicate after today, what is it that you would say? What is it that God put in you, in your DNA, that seed that is in you? Because I do believe that you and I are children of God, the God of the universe, the God that made everything. And I believe that God specifically planted a seed and a message that only can come out through you. It's the only way. That's it. You have a certain perspective. You have certain experiences. You grew up in certain areas. None of that was by chance. It was all by design. And therefore, your message is a part, and it's integral that people do hear your voice. It is integral that you speak up while you can, because we never know what tomorrow holds. All we know is that yesterday is gone forever. Tomorrow may or may not exist. All we have is this beautiful thing that we call today. So let's make the most of this beautiful, absolutely beautiful day. Hey, I love you guys. Thanks for dealing with the crazy this morning. You're absolutely the best. Thanks again to Amanda Dahl, Scott Simons, Monica. I don't even know Monica's last name. Let me look. Monica Ricci. Thank you so much. You guys are just absolutely phenomenal. And we're going to head on over to Clubhouse. For those of you that need more videos like this, you can go to glennlundy.com. If you haven't got your tickets for the Listening and Beyond Summit, I promise you I will have my voice back by then in July 29th. So make sure to join me in New York City. And if you want to go hang out in Clubhouse, we'll be over there. Otherwise, we'll see you around. Have a great day.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you, my friend? How are you, my friend? See, there's no excuse for you not pushing yourself to the next level. In order for you to create a new you must have a new mindset. When teams come together, we can create things that are greater than the sum of all of their parts.